Everyone, TMR here, and today I'm going to be discussing my experience practicing meditation with Michael Imperioli, who is best known for playing Christopher Moltisanti on the HBO series The Sopranos. So, I first discovered this practice because, like many people, I was looking for something to watch at the beginning of the lockdown, and I saw that HBO added The Sopranos onto Hulu for a limited amount of time. I watched the show quickly and I absolutely loved it. I think it's a masterpiece and one of the best TV shows ever made. Because I enjoyed the show so much, I started listening to the podcast Talking Sopranos with Steve Sciarippa and Michael Imperioli, which I also really love and would highly recommend any fan of the show check out. I believe at one point Steve cracked a joke about Michael meditating or something, and they have really good banter, so I'm sure it was all in good fun. But I was interested to hear that Michael practiced meditation from this. So eventually I followed Michael on Instagram, and I saw that he teaches some meditation classes. And I use the word teaches loosely because he made it very clear in the session that he views it more as a study group, where we're all students, and he's just leading the study group. So the class was free on Zoom, so I knew right away I was going to sign up for this because why wouldn't I? And so recently, a little over 3 months ago, I went through an extremely traumatic experience in my life that caused me a lot of anxiety and depression and racing thoughts and mental health issues. So ever since then, I've been looking for ways to improve my mental health because I believe strongly that you have to treat your mind just like any other part of your body. If you broke your leg, you would go to the doctor, right, and get it fixed. And, so I knew that my mind wasn't well. So I made the effort to consistently go to therapy, to also see a psychiatrist and find medication that would help me, to practice yoga. Shout out to Yoga with Adrian. She's absolutely amazing. To practice breathing methods, which I've read good things about. Shout out to Wim Hof, who's also absolutely amazing. And I just generally did anything in my life that I believed would change it for the better. I made some major life changes. And so, of course, with all that in mind, I'm open to anything that could help improve my mental health. So that's why I gave this class a go. It started at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on a Monday, and it lasted a little bit more than an hour. Michael said he's been doing this class for a little over 6 months, but he said since there was a bunch of new people in this session, it would be more of like a back to basics practice, which, worked really well for me because I've never practiced meditation before. And overall, Michael was just an excellent teacher. He gave very clear instructions on how to practice meditation. Going in, I had envisioned just closing your eyes, trying to stop your thinking completely. And I learned that that's actually pretty much the exact opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. We kept our eyes open, and you're not supposed to stare at anything, but you're also not supposed to lose yourself and have open eyes, but basically a closed mind. You're just kind of supposed to notice things around you, and you really have to focus on your breath. And we have to understand that the brain is going to think, because that's what it does. You're not going to be able to stop your thoughts completely. But when you catch yourself thinking, and you catch yourself starting to drift away in thought, you don't shove these thoughts away. You don't judge them. You just recognize that they're there, you see them, and you refocus yourself on your breathing. Because the thoughts are just temporary. They're like clouds in the sky of your mind, and they'll go away, which is a great lesson that I learned in my session with Michael Imperioli. So overall, we meditated for 2 5-minute sessions, and Michael said it was shorter than usual because his class was kind of, going back to basics, and he also just felt in general that every now and then it's better to meditate for shorter periods of time to kind of refocus yourself and restart things again. He said that was usually about half the time they spend meditating during a regular class. And in between meditation sessions, Michael also gave us readings from a book called The Rebel Buddha, which I really enjoyed, and that was a nice introduction to Buddhist concepts for me, and it really gave me a lot to think about and ponder about, and I learned a lot of new things. He also did a question and answer session, and he even answered one of my questions, which was absolutely awesome. I wasn't really expecting it because I gave a really long question about my background on what was causing my anxiety and depression and how I was wondering about how meditation will help me. Besides the fact that it was awesome to have the actor who played Christopher Moltisanti answer a question of mine, it was just great to have such a devoted practitioner of meditation and Buddhism answer my question and take time to give me a thoughtful and insightful answer. And the whole class was talking to each other in the chat. Everybody was really supportive of one another, and it had a very nice, peaceful, and positive atmosphere that I very much enjoyed. You know, there was people from all over the world in the class, and the only thing I didn't like about the chat was that I couldn't figure out how to turn it off, because sometimes people would say things and write things in during the meditation itself, and it would catch my eye. I didn't like that because it would distract me from focusing on my breathing. But, you know, it was just a chat. Nobody was allowed to have their videos on or anything, or say anything besides Michael Imperioli. And, you know, obviously I was very interested in taking a class by Michael just because I'm such a huge fan of the show. But once the class got going, I honestly forgot all about that. You know, once it started, I was just in a great meditation class with a great instructor, and I was just there for my mental health and to learn something new. You know, I really didn't think about The Sopranos at all. I really enjoyed this session, and I'm definitely going to try to give it a go routinely each Monday. And if you can't attend live, that's perfectly okay, because each session is recorded and posted to the YouTube channel, Meditation with Michael Imperioli, which I'll leave in the video description. And for sure, I would recommend this class to anybody who's interested in meditation, and maybe somebody who's looking for something to help out their mental health in a small way, or if you're just looking for information on the practices of Buddhism. And I very much enjoyed this session, and I feel like this is a class that people would pay good money for, so I considered myself very lucky that it's available online for free. And you know, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening to my thoughts on meditation with Michael Imperioli, and I'll see you next time.